missed somebody who's put the ball in the net on a regular basis this year.
And obviously our commentary position is right in with the fans here as well, isn't it? So I know a lot of the players' families are here watching this game as well, so we might get a bit of good-natured stick tonight.
I don't know if it'd be good-natured. I think got a few funny looks already.
Well, of course, Liverpool beat Wigan back in November by 1-0 when Danny Pacheco scored the only goal of the match. But Liverpool, good incentive to win tonight too, especially after that excellent second half display against Manchester United last week, because a Liverpool victory will take them above Wigan in the table, and it's all about trying to rise up to a better position and end the season on a real high with 5 games, including this one left.
Yeah, certainly a bit of respectability won't do anybody any harm. I think it's been frustrating the way the season has gone. Some poor performances early on, and we never really got any points on the board, and since then it's been a little bit of a struggle. But in recent weeks, signs are that maybe some of the players are coming into a better form.
It's also been good for the reserve squad, been given a bit of a lift, of course, with Jay Spearing's first team appearance against Real Madrid last week. Spearing given the captain's armband by Gary tonight.
Yeah, that's not unusual. Jay's been captain on many occasions previously, but as you say, it is a big boost to see for other players to see younger lads getting an opportunity and getting that promotion into the first team squad.
Liverpool, of course, did the double over the Latics at reserve level last season. Remember, they won 3-0 up at the JJB when Nabil El Zahra is not in action tonight, but he played a key role in that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Decent performance early on in the season, got us off on a good note. Things were going quite well, and obviously at that point, when you're winning games comfortably, keeping clean sheets, confidence spreads throughout the team.
And there certainly could be 1 or 2 goals in this one tonight, because a couple of weeks ago, you know, Wigan led 4-1 against Manchester United, only in the last 20 minutes to end up losing 5-4.
Yeah, extraordinary result. I noticed that one when it happened. I've been here already this season to Wigan, and it's an interesting little environment. It's not ideal in some ways, very open, so expect the unexpected.
Jay Spearing there, full of smiles. Mikel San Jose was captain last week, as Vincent Vale, who played extremely well in the second half against Manchester United last week. But a nice night as well for Jay Spearing, as I say, captaining the side. He was, of course, come on as a substitute against Manchester United and turned the game really in Liverpool's favour last week. So right before this game as well, as always, we'll give you tonight's 2 teams in full detail now, starting first of all with the Liverpool side. And it shows there a return to action for last season's top scorer Christian Nemeth. Only played 5 games this season for the reserve team because of 1 or 2 injury problems he's had. Victor Paulsen, the Icelandic youngster, as he did last week against United in the second half, will play just off Nemeth. Stephen Irwin, the versatile Stevie Irwin, will play in a midfield holding role. Damien Placis is ill and misses this one. Spearing will play an attacking role. A return to the side too for Emiliano Insua. As for the Wigan Athletic team, well, Keith Birchin, their manager, and the Everton legend Dave Watson assists him for this one. A couple of first-team experience in the goalkeeper Mike Pollard, who was once Wigan's #1 before the arrival, of course, of the former Red Chris Kirkland. Eric Edman, who once scored an absolute beauty at the Cop End against Jerzy Dudak in the Istanbul season, will play at left-back. John Routledge, young Scouser, in midfield. Callum McManaman, no relation to Steve up front, and the South Korean superstar in Won Hee Cho, making his debut for Wigan after paperwork has granted him a visa. So all eyes from the Wigan perspective on him tonight. Well, there is the return of the #9, Christian Nemeth. Certainly with 1 or 2 Scousers in this side. Of course, the Dutchman Vincent Vale played really well last week against United, Dave. Gary Ablett was saying that's the sort of form they want to see him do on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes he's on the periphery of the game, Vale. We know he can be very effective. He can get past players and he gets his crosses in early. But I think last week he stepped up a gear a little bit and he's shown a lot more confidence and taking on players, and he was popping up in more dangerous positions.
Jay Spearing there just having a joke with John Routledge. Jay actually played with the Wigan skipper John Routledge at Wigan at Liverpool's academy before Liverpool let him go, and he's come here to Wigan as Gary Ablett alongside his assistant Angel Valles. Mr. D.S. Bond is our match official for tonight. Rather chilly night up here in Wigan. Got the ground, which is really an athletic stadium, got all sorts of indoor tracks as well around here. A decent crowd inside the Robin Park Arena for this one.
Yeah, very much so. Obviously, Liverpool not being that far away from here encourages people just to make the trip out here. But it's very healthy. It's good to see, so many following reserve team football.
So first touch for Eric Edman. Now Lewis Field, who's actually an Ormskirk lad. And Spearing getting stuck in almost straight away. Tigerish competitor. Was of course captain the last time Liverpool won the FA Youth Cup. Got a good chance to maybe go all the way to the final this year. Hughie Macaulay's young boys. In the semi-final stage. Adam Buxton for Wigan. Big Ronald Huth, the first Paraguayan to play for Liverpool. Back in the team, came on as a late sub against Wigan. Manchester United last week, getting a start tonight. There's Stevie Irwin. Nemeth, that's a nice touch. Paulson just couldn't take it in his stride. Now Spearing. Kelly. He's adaptable to play at right back, Martin Kelly, isn't he?
Well, initially he made his debut, I think, for the reserves in that position. Looked very sound and solid on that occasion. We've since remarked that he much prefers and looks more comfortable as a centre-back.
There's Emiliano Insua covering at left back. As Craig Mahon tried to get him behind him. Paulson. Gary Ablett was saying they still don't know what his best position is. Victor Paulson, they've tried him right midfield, centre midfield, playing in the role he is tonight, just off the striker, which indeed could turn out to be his best position.
I think it's a glorified position these days, isn't it? Being that free man behind the striker, not having that real responsibility of having to hold the ball up, but just sort of getting on the ball at, quite frequently.
There's Martin Kelly. Irwin. Nice interchange. Spearing. Pacheco. Nemeth. Nemeth has got it back again. Some nice skill. Pacheco. Gary Ablett has certainly experimented with Danny Pacheco's position at times this season. He seems to have played everywhere over the midfield tonight, playing right side.
Yeah, I think he's flourished certainly in that position where Paulson is tonight. Just in behind the strikers, gets on the ball a lot, is very inventive. And of late he scored a couple of goals as well, which has given him a lot of confidence. He's getting stronger all the time.
Vincent Vale. Now Paulson. It's a challenge on him in that midfield area by Won Hee-cho. Nemeth trying the back heel. Nemeth again. Certainly made a decent start, Christian Nemeth, looking sharp and lively.
Well, he's had a couple of early touches, and that will do him no harm whatsoever. He'll probably be a little bit sort of rusty in some ways. I mean, it's okay doing training up at Melwood, but actually getting into a match situation is totally different.
It's going to be Vale who's going to take this. Kelly, San Jose and Huth all up there, adding extra aerial threat. Vale's delivery. Huth at the back post. It's away by Buxton. Ensure. Emiliano Ensure, of course, who was Rafa's first choice left back before he went away to play for Argentina in those World Under-20 qualifiers.
A little bit unfortunate for him in some ways, because when he was away, Fabio Aurelio's come in and found a bit of good form. So there's huge competition now for that left back spot.
Forward by Holt. Joe Holt, who comes from the same district as Stephen Gerrard from Highton, Wigan number 11. All his family, Liverpool mad. He was saying it's a special occasion for him to play against his favourite team tonight. Nemeth trying to stay onside. Well, last season, Christian Nemeth couldn't stop scoring. He was our top scorer with 12 goals, and don't forget, his season didn't start until towards Christmas time because he started the campaign off injured. And now Liverpool have been penalised. There is Holt. Kelly penalised here.
A little bit of wrestling, the fact that ultimately he goes to ground, wins him the free kick, I think.
So Wigan have certainly got some players forward here. It's a nice turn. Eventually, Ensure managed to clear it away as one Hicho got through the Liverpool rearguard. Of course, he was been playing for a team called Suwon Blue Wings. Also had a trial spell at Monaco before Steve Bruce brought him here to Wigan. High-profile player, South Korean international.
I think I'd prefer to live in Monaco than Wigan, if I'm honest.
There is Dave Watson alongside Keith Birchin, the Wigan reserve management team.
Know the two lads very well. Big mates when they were down at Norwich some years ago in their playing days. Formidable partnership, them two.
Now spearing. Mikel San Jose. Quite a tight pitch, isn't it?
It is a bit compact, isn't it? It's quite long, I think, but it's narrow, and Wigan condensed the play quite well.
Good running by Holt. Edmund. Dangerous ball in. And Shua dealing with it. And Vincent Vale, sure he didn't intend that. Routledge. Crunching tackle in the midfield between Spearing and Routledge, the two captains. Good forceful play by the Argentine Ensure here. Spotted Nemeth, that's unlucky. It's cleared away in the end by Lewis Field. There's an effort. Not a bad try in the end from Danny Pacheco. Always one to try speculative efforts.
It's a good break by Insua down the left-hand side. Did well and almost managed to pick out Nemeth. When the ball fell, I think, for Pacheco there, I thought perhaps it was there to hit first time. In the end, he just delayed the shot.
And the flag goes up in the end as Holt tried to get in behind the Liverpool team. So his favourite player, not surprisingly, when he comes from Huyton, is Steven Gerrard. Decent player though, Joe Holt. He's always been an impressive performer for Wigan's second string on the left-hand side of midfield.
Well, clubs like Wigan and Tranmere, of Wrexham, even, have all sort of used Merseyside as a breeding ground for picking up players, and it's a good opportunity for lads who just don't quite make it with Liverpool or Everton to sort of come out this sort of end, you know, just on the outskirts.
Adam Buxton to the youth ranks here at Wigan. I just thought we thought about Christian Nemeth being the top scorer last season with 12 goals, and you're looking for reasons why Liverpool reserves might not have done as well this season, floating towards the near bottom of the table. But incredibly, our joint top scorer this season is Danny Pacheco with 2 goals.
Yeah, amazing turnaround.
And here's good play here by McManaman, and the former Everton youth player is certainly a live wire. Incredibly, no relation to Steve, but he's certainly a player you know a lot about, Dave.
Yeah, I saw Callum McManaman a few years ago as a youngster at Everton. He was highly regarded as a young player. They had big hopes for him at the time. I think he had a little bit of an injury, I think, since then, and that might have slowed his progression down slightly at Everton, but he's got plenty of talent from what I can remember.
He's certainly got a bit of pace as well to go with that. Certainly scoring goals has been a problem for Gary Ablett's team this season.
Very much so. I think consistently we really haven't created as many chances as we were doing last season, and obviously then we're not putting, the success rate hasn't been that brilliant.
Spearing there, looking for Nemeth. Good covering by Andrew Pearson. But also, you look at the goals conceded. I mean, only conceded 8 in the whole of last season in the league. Already in the league, we've conceded 15.
Yeah, I mean, we went weeks and without giving a goal in last season, but it has been a totally different story altogether this year.
Good play by Emiliano Insua, Spearing coming in back post. As we've seen in the first team, does love to get forward. Insua got a sweet left foot. Manchester City, where they normally play at the Regional Sports Arena, quite similar ground to this, where you may well remember Nemeth marked his debut with 2 goals last year.
He did indeed. Nice little setup that is, just next to the main stadium, but not quite as open as here. This is very open territory.
Pacheco's cross, Paulson was in there. It's going to be a corner. Pearson very aware of the situation then. Danny Pacheco is going to take this corner for Gary Ablett's side. Spearing around the edge of the box. Huth did well. Spearing again. Nemeth. Anywhere will do policy. Nice touch by Pacheco. Vale. Edmund turning Paulson, showing all his experience there, the Swede. An offside given as Holt tried to get through the Liverpool rearguard.
It's a correct decision. Good line held by Liverpool. Very experienced back line this now in terms of reserve team football. Kelly, San Jose, Huth and Insua.
Always likes to make notes during the game at certain players' performances where he feels they can improve. San Jose. Not afraid to let his players know as well if he's disappointed with them, Gary Ablett. Of course, give the players a bit of a rollicking at half-time against Manchester United last week, and it paid rich dividends in the end.
Well, it was needed. Certainly the performance last week wasn't good enough in the first 45 minutes. It was amazing how well they turned it around in the second half. Much more confident, much more together, and they gave United as good as they got.
Huth didn't look where he was passing it. Nice back heel by McManaman. Irwin. Buxton. Marn. There's Irwin. Good ball. Nemeth tried to lay it off to Vale, who couldn't take it in his stride. Huth. It's a big up and under, trying to get Pacheco away.
Well, we've seen him play that ball on a number of occasions, Ron. It's a very difficult ball for the winger then to actually do anything with. You know, it's hit with such power. And when he's being closed down, it's probably not the ball that a winger's relishing to receive.
And Callum McManaman. Boyhood blue as well. Certainly a very competitive striker. Here's Irwin. Emiliano Insua. Nemeth. Referee tried to play the advantage, but in the end, Nemeth had run into an offside position. Season started so well for him, didn't it, when he got a chance with Rafa's first team. Did pretty well in pre-season, made a couple of good cameo appearances against Villarreal, Rangers, Vålerenga. Did pretty well. Rafa spoke highly of him. Got a squad number for the first team too. But then he got injured on international duty with Hungary's under-19 team. We've seen him play, as I say, he's made 5 appearances before this one. He's been quite a bit fair way off the pace when we've seen him, hasn't he, this season?
It's very difficult, I think, when you pick up an injury so early on in the season, particularly around pre-season time, that then you're always trying to catch up on fitness, and then it becomes a little bit of a sort of a stop-start affair because you pick up little niggling injuries, and basically that's what's happened to Christian Nemeth this season.
His best game was Bolton. He scored a cracking goal, didn't he, at the Reebok, and then should have had a blatant penalty near the end of that game, which Liverpool somehow lost 2-1.
Yeah, he put it in down on the left-hand side, but yeah, it was one of them games for him that maybe didn't quite get the breaks he was getting last season, and who knows, he had better luck that night. He might have gone from, built on it and gone from strength to strength.
And then Shua just beaten by Marn. But the Argentine redeems himself. Irwin. Vale having a run at Buxton. Vale, decent play, but well taken by Mike Pollitt. And Wigan, in recent games, Keith Burchin's been playing a 16-year-old in Lee Nichols between the posts, but because it was Liverpool and up against people like Nemeth, he wanted an experienced keeper in action tonight, and that's why Pollitt has got the call.
I think that's important. You're certainly going to feel the benefits of his experience on against opposition like Liverpool.
And for Nichols, only 16, getting regular reserve team football before this match is invaluable for him.
Yeah, obviously excellent to get the breakthrough so young.
Routledge, ball over the top. There's Dean Vazanis, who's had a great season, really, and one of the stars of the Youth Cup team in their run to the semi-finals.
There's been excellent form in the youth side, and I think he's brought some of that confidence with him into the reserve team performances of late.
Very confident young Sydney boy, Dean Vazanis. That's a good ball by San Jose, and Nemeth is onside. Takes it first time, but unlike the Nemeth of last season, maybe he is ring rusty.
Yeah, snatched at it, and maybe he's thinking that, he's off and running in terms of scoring goals. Would have been much more comfortable, I think, on his right side. Seen him score goals with his left foot, but I think he's much more comfortable on the right side.
He did an exclusive interview for the club website, which went up today, Christian Nemeth, and one of the questions was, where can you improve? And he says, Gary Ablett is always on at me to improve my left foot. And you can see why then.
Yeah.
Onside, Routledge, but Huth recovered.
It was clearly onside. It was Kelly who was playing him onside there. Just unable really to take it in his stride, Routledge, and get away from Huth.
He's a decent player, John Routledge. I remember seeing him a few times for the academy team. Always played with his heart on his sleeve. Great competitor. Certainly the Wigan coaching staff rate him highly. Now Vale backed his own judgment then, and skill to get out of a tricky situation. Spearing. Good play. Irwin. Liverpool have got players forward here. Spearing to Paulson. Good pick out. Danny Pacheco. Routledge. Going past his good mate, Jay Spearing.
In the sense perhaps he knew that he could outrun Jay. Puts the ball nicely down the line. It was a little bit unfortunate. The bounce probably didn't do him any favours in getting the cross in.
Mikel San Jose. Forward towards the pace of McManaman, trying to get away from Huth. Great covering by San Jose. How about that for composure? Holt was caught offside. Now Irwin. Nemeth. Best chance of the game, that so far, undoubtedly, that Nemeth opportunity.
Oh, by far. I mean, it's a good opportunity. You think you've got to be hitting the target at least.
Decent knock to him as well from San Jose. Spotted him, made the run.
Good ball, nice position to be in, sort of just off the shoulder of the centre half. It's played into the right space. I mean, it's an open invitation.
Kelly covering for Liverpool. You're wondering if you can hear a high-pitched noise in the background. It's actually an alarm that was going off at a nearby superstore. It was going on right up until kick-off here, but it's come back. Ensure. Vale. Ensure again. Huth. Will lift it over the top towards Nemeth. We're going to see in the second half at some point, by the way, first appearance at reserve level for the Finnish starlet Lauri Dalavalli as a shot of the South Korean Won Hee-cho. But it'd certainly be nice to see a first glimpse of Dalavalli. Gary Ablett was going to bring him on against United last week, but an injury to Emmanuel Mendy meant that Ablett unfortunately couldn't bring him on as a late sub. But he's got 14 goals for the academy team this season, sitting alongside Emmanuel Mendy and the academy goalkeeper Deal Chamberlain.
It'll be good to see him at some point. Been very impressed on the occasions that I've seen him playing it down at the academy and in the youth side. Hoping that he fulfills the promise that he's already shown.
Bit of good capture though, Boca Juniors, Emiliano Ensure. Certainly very talented left back. It was a good deal when you consider he was brought to the club permanently when Gabriel Paletta went back to Argentina.
Yeah, obviously Rafa doing a fair bit of business with the young Argentinian players, but he is one who's settled probably quicker than the others. Paletta, Leto, both had their problems. Ensure and Leto formed a nice little partnership down the left-hand side, but Leto really wasn't able to take that form into the first team when he got the opportunity.
Buxton. There's Irwin. It's Wigan in 8th position in the Barclays Premier Reserve League North table. One place above Liverpool. Flag goes up. Gary thought it might be a bit of a battle tonight. He said the pitch is not the best for passing the ball.
It's a bit lively. I think it maybe it's a little bit easier, I think, than Warrington, in all honesty. I think Warrington can be a tricky surface, but this one just a little bit bouncy. But it's fairly flat from what we saw. We were on it earlier on.
Angel Valles, Gary's assistant, the last 2 years alongside him. There's Nemeth. Will make a bit of a nuisance for him up front. Player's been brought back because of an infringement by Nemeth. Wigan sort of famous for pie and peas. There's a lot of meat pie smells around the area. You can have one at half time.
I'm in a keep fit regime at the moment, Steve. I'll leave the pies to you. And Paul Hassel.
You can have the chips and gravy then. Certainly Wigan, as we thought it would pre-match really. As we said before, there's a lot of young Scousers in the Wigan team, and they're certainly making it a very competitive midfield battle out there.
Yeah, well, I think that they have made it very tight. We did say that perhaps the pitch is slightly narrow. It's very tight in the midfield areas, and both sides, I think, have struggled really to open the play up.
It's going to be Matty Hampson to take this free kick, a player who, would you believe, has been on Wigan's books for over 11 years. He's trying to make a real name for himself. All his family, big Wigan Athletic supporters. Local lad come good. Not a bad delivery in there too, it caused problems. Holt, is that a penalty? It is. Referee right on the spot. Martin Kelly penalised. And Mr. Bond, the match official, with no hesitation whatsoever. Here it is. Through the legs of San Jose, and Kelly on McManaman.
I don't think he's got much excuses. I think it's a penalty, I'll be honest. I think it's a good decision by the referee. The ball from Hampson was a tricky one. It caused a little bit of anxiety in the back line, and Liverpool weren't able to clear it properly.
And it will be the man who won the penalty, the former Everton youth striker, Callum McManaman. Remember, no relation to Steve, with the spot kick. It's a short run-up. Dean Bazanis, who has saved penalties on Liverpool's Youth Cup run this season, most notably at Bristol Rovers. Superbly done. 1-0 to the Latics.
Well, disappointing from a Liverpool point of view, certainly. But they weren't able to clear that initial free kick, and then from it, as Holt worked his way into the box, I think it's a clumsy challenge by Martin Kelly. Maybe not intentional, but he does bring Holt down.
And Callum McManaman, a famous name in Liverpool history, McManaman. This time of the Callum variety. And Liverpool find themselves a goal down, but they did come back from a deficit to win an honourable draw with Manchester United last week. Let's see what the comeback qualities of the second string are like again tonight. Spearing. Linking with Poulsen. Spearing again. It's a good ball by Spearing. Nemeth. Great save. Poulsen. Liverpool are level. Victor Poulsen, his first ever goal in a red shirt. Great play by Spearing, great battling by the skipper, and Poulsen, the young Icelandic boy, makes it 1-1.
Well, good little finish. I wonder whether Nemeth needed to slide in, really, whether or not he just could have just chipped it over Pollard. As it was, though, as the ball skips up off the goalkeeper, it's Poulsen who reacts best. That's a nice little finish by him.
Great strength of character, good play by Spearing.
Yeah, we expect Jay to be inventive around the box. You always sort of expect him to conjure up something. It was a nice little ball down the side for Nemeth. I'd say I didn't really felt that he had to slide in. I think he could have stayed on his feet and just chipped it over Pollard.
But a great response. Within a minute of going a goal down to a McManaman penalty, Poulsen levels it up.
Well, from looking like a real stalemate, it's livened up in a couple of minutes. And it's nice to see some goal action.
Brought to the club from Aarhus, Liverpool's only real bit of transfer activity into the club during January. Arrived as something of an unknown. Gary Ablett says still a lot of work to do tactically with him, but he said he's a player with promise. Another Icelandic player Liverpool had in the mid-90s who arrived as a striker. Hauke Ingi Gudnason, who was a striker, went on to play international football for Iceland, but just couldn't cut it in England. Playing for Liverpool, and Poulsen will hope to have a better impact on his compatriot. McManaman, some space for the number 9. There's Kelly. Pacheco.
Not the position you want you see your right-sided player in. no help around for him either. There was a little bit of a panic on there for a moment.
Certainly looks more effective as a central player though, Danny Pacheco, doesn't he? Not really had the chance to get involved and do things with the ball, which he likes to do.
Yeah, that's right, and I think we've seen on a couple of occasions he's quite eager to come in off that right-hand side and try and get amongst things.
Vale. Ensure. Good run by Emiliano Ensure, and he wins a free kick. Referee's had a decent game tonight.
Yeah, he's made the right decisions up to now. It was a good, strong run by Ensure down this left channel. Clearly a foul. We could hear the collision from where we are at 45 yards off the track.
Pacheco and Spearing over this free kick. Such a tight angle, of course. Pacheco almost scored the late winner against United last week with an effort that just went wide of Kuszak's post. It will be Pacheco. Tried to fool the Wigan team then.
Yeah, trying to do too much. I think there was never really the opportunity to take that ball down the side of the wall and get it in, not unless you're a magician.
Dean Bazanis in a hurry.
All credit to Wigan. They made the life a little bit uncomfortable for the centre backs. Huth and San Jose both really had to defend in sort of sort of in anxious moments.
Paulson, Irwin, Pacheco. Irwin continues his run. Of course, yesterday was another anniversary of your unforgettable late winner against St Etienne, Dave.
Yeah, unbelievable. I had a phone call from somebody. Can't believe 32 years ago.
Did you get one or two texts?
Very sad, really. Didn't realise I was so old.
Oh.
No, but it's great that people do remember it. It seems an awful long time ago now, I'll be honest.
Moment you'll never forget them. Irwin. Pacheco, nice first touch. Nice run this by the number 7. Nemeth was in there. It's a corner.
Did well, Pacheco. Confidence to take the centre back on. The ball wasn't the worst. Just too many blue shirts in there to deny Nemeth.
Now Vincent Vale with his left foot in swinger. Victor Paulson, who scored the Liverpool equaliser, is up there. Kelly was there too, but that's well taken by the experienced Mike Pollard. Vale. Is it Stewart? Trying to link with Paulson. McManaman. cool head, Mikel San Jose, unfazed by nothing. Now Pacheco on the attack for Liverpool. Nemeth. Pacheco. Nemeth. Some good play, spearing. Shot blocked. Kelly.
Liverpool have to really work hard to get a sight of the goal. 8 blue shirts there in the way of the Liverpool attack, making it like very, very difficult to break through.
Walter Kelly, of course, who was on the bench against Real Madrid last week. What a difference a week makes. Quite a different contrasting in surroundings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The week before that, some of the lads were playing at Formby, and then, you know, so it's the ups and downs of reserve team football.
We've got Southport next up, Gary Ablett's side, in the Liverpool Senior Cup semi-final next Tuesday. There'll be another testing game for them, that. Ensure. Paulson just intercepted. He'll get confidence off his goal, though, won't he, Victor Paulson? It was a nice finish.
Yeah, it's good, obviously, for new players to come in and start hitting the back of the net.
Here he is again, linking with Vale.
Just a little bit predictable by Vincent Vale. Might have just tried to take on Buxton there.
Loves doing that from the back, doesn't he, Ronald Huth? Gets the ball, big boot up to the right wing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one, isn't it, to make work. Sometimes you get away with it going down the centre of the pitch, but really, when a winger sees a ball coming in at him with terrible pace, you know, you wonder what you're going to do with it.
That's a strange clearance. Vale. There's Pollitt there before Nemeth. Irwin. Spearing out wide to Vale. Oh, he's gone past Buxton this time.
He did well to get past Buxton in a tight little space. But, I think it was Field who came across to put an end to the run.
Nemeth. Nice play that by McManaman. Oh, lovely play by Cho, the South Korean player. Excellent play by him. This could be another one. And indeed it is. It's 2-1 to Wigan Athletic, and it's the former Liverpool Academy player, John Routledge, who scored it.
Tremendous play by Cho down the right-hand side. Good ball down the line, and then Cho had the confidence just to draw the challenge in from San Jose. Could have taken on himself, but in the end just rolls her into Routledge's path. It's a cracking little finish.
Well, he's got superstar status, the South Korean player, Cho, back in his homeland. And Routledge would have loved that goal.
Yeah, it's always nice to put one over on your mates. But it was a well-worked goal. Can't deny Wigan that.
And the other young scouser as well, who played his part in creating the goal. That was a fantastic ball down the line by McManaman.
Yeah, good ball, nice ball into, again, a tight space. You know, there wasn't much room for him to deliver that ball down the line. A clever play by Cho, just waited until San Jose committed himself and just slipped it through his legs.
Shua frustratingly boots the ball away for Liverpool, but at half-time, Wigan Athletic lead by 2-1. Callum McManaman scored the first from the penalty spot after Martin Kelly appended him. Then Victor Paulsen equalised after Nemeth was delayed by Michael Pollitt to make it 1-1. But then just before the half-time break, the former Liverpool Academy player, John Routledge, after a great move, made it 2-1 to Wigan. This is the story of the game so far. This is McManaman, meanwhile, winning the penalty.
Yeah, he just made his way into the box there, drew the challenge from Kelly, and calmly stroked into the goal to give them the lead. Liverpool's reaction was superb, though. Didn't...
Good play by Spearing, you see here, linking with Nemeth.
Yeah, it didn't wait too long to get at Wigan, and Paulsen the first to react. It's a nice little sort of poacher's goal.
So that was 1-1, Liverpool back into it, but then great play here by McManaman. And here's Weho Cho, some nutmegging San Jose. And here's the former Liverpool player, John Routledge, great composure, 2-1.
Yeah, excellent goal all round. Nice build-up from the back, and good play by the South Korean just to lay it on the play for Routledge.
So it's all for Liverpool to do in the second half, because at half-time, Wigan Athletic 2, Liverpool 1. Welcome back to the Robin Sport Park Arena, where John Routledge, who put Wigan 2-1 in front shortly before half-time, is the one of only 2 Wigan players out on the field at the moment, but they're coming out right in front of me now as we speak in more numbers. Mike Pollitt's been out for an extra 5 minutes getting shooting practice. Presumably, he must think he'll be busy by the likes of Nemeth and maybe Lowry Delavalli, who's going to make his debut at some point in the second half.
Yeah, it's a cold evening, and maybe thought, well, get out there and get a good warm-up for the second half. It's a great crowd. It's certainly well supported, this fixture.
That's what at half-time, weren't we? But the pitch, not that great for playing the football.
Yeah, I think at this time of year, unless you're on like the best pitches, then they are lively and bobbly and stuff. I mean, from what I saw, I think it looks relatively flat, but you will get a few uneven bounces from time to time. But it's it's spring. It is lively. It's not a dull surface, which I think I'd much prefer to play on a lively one.
Was Nemeth a little bit ring rusty in the first half?
Yeah, I think on 1 or 2 occasions perhaps could have protected the ball a little bit better, and a bit frustrated, maybe things just not going quite his way.
I don't know, because he's just come back from that fractured cheekbone, of course, that in training he hasn't had any contact on him whatsoever, so this is almost the first time he's had contact since that injury. And it's a bad injury, isn't it, really? But
yeah,
to say Peter Beardsley doing it, and a testimonial when Neil Ruddock took him out on a Ronnie Whelan's testimonial at Anfield.
Yeah, that was a particularly nasty challenge, wasn't it, from memory? But no, it's not an easy injury to come back after, you know. I think if Liverpool can stretch the game a little bit, they might find it a little bit more beneficial. Up to now, they've been really find it difficult in the midfield areas to get on the ball and have any time on the ball at all.
Well, Delavalli is warming up at the start of the second half. Irwin. Spearing. Insure. Paulsen. Slightly Slightly misjudged back pass from Victor Paulsen, really. Let's got a glimpse of young Craig Morn, young Irish boy in the Wigan team. San Jose. Wigan come forward. McManaman. Paulsen got back at him. Some space here for Victor Paulsen. Can he pick out a red shirt? Here's Vincent Vale. Irwin. Trying to get Pacheco away. Forward by Ensure. Nemeth was the target, difficult ball to take. Here he is though, nice touch. Paulsen. There's the hard-working Routledge. Also nice to see a young Scot on the bench tonight, Gary Mackay-Stephen, who's been out all season with injury. Another product of the academy.
Yeah, not heard his name much at all this season. He figured in the youth squad last season, didn't he? Just towards the end, I think, of the run.
Left-sided player. Can play left wing or left back. Maybe he might get some minutes tonight. It's Adam Buxton, local product at right back for Wigan.
Always a time when Liverpool were, had a strong Scottish representation. Just signs perhaps that we're getting that way again. I think there are 2 or 3 young lads from Scotland now in the academy.
Ensure. Nemeth with a nice touch. Spearing. Now Pacheco. Can he work some magic? He's gone for an effort at goal.
To know whether he actually meant that or not. I think it was a miss-hit. But certainly, when Liverpool broke, they looked to seem to be, up there in numbers, but Wigan got a lot of men back very quickly.
Spearing does well in battling in midfield. Vale. Show, but challenged well by Irwin. Searching ball looking for Nemeth. Paulsen is with him. Still Christian Nemeth. Paulsen.
Struggling to get any real momentum going at the moment. Paulsen picks up the ball and looked out to the left-hand side to see if Vale was available, but he'd come into a position perhaps which showed he didn't want to be a part of the movement. Paulsen had nowhere to go then.
Gonzalo Rodriguez, another Spanish coach, was there. Felix Ledesma, another Spanish coach. Come with the young lads. Billy Stewart, the reserve team goalkeeping coach, with Deal Chamberlain and Emmanuel Mendy, who came off against Manchester United last week with a touch of cramp. Nemeth. Holt. Good interception by Mikel San Jose, and he's got some space to run with the ball here. Nemeth is making a run. San Jose going all the way.
It was a great run by him, but I think the better ball, the best option was to play out left to Vincent Vale.
Show. Now Buxton. He's certainly comfortable in possession, Mikel San Jose, and certainly capable of doing that on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think he's really made steady progress defensively and also with the ball at his feet. Very confident lad, I suspect.
Huth. Kelly. There's big Ronald Huth again. And I don't know if that was a shot. Wouldn't be surprised with big Ronald.
A rush of blood, I think.
Good battling by Kelly. Kelly again. Vale. Opportunity for the former AZ Alkmaar man to try and create some problems from that left side. Here's Insure. Spearing. Show. One back by Spearing. Irwin. Nemeth. It's nice. Spearing. Could have a shot here, Jay Spearing. Not a bad try. Stung the fingertips of Pollitt. Pacheco. Vale, great chance for Vincent Vale. Oh, it's a belter. 2-2. Vincent Vale, he scored a spectacular goal away at Newcastle up in Northumberland earlier this season. Scored a belter and a friendly against Chelsea at the academy. He's certainly got some power in that left foot.
Well, he took his time, steadied himself. It's a thumping shot to finish. Pollitt handled Spearing's shot relatively comfortable just previous to that, but there was no stopping that shot from Vale. Just a good time for Liverpool to, I think, to get back on level terms.
We thought there would be goals, as we said before about Wigan. Do score goals, do concede them too. Game on again. Twice Liverpool have come back from deficits. Good character from Gary Ablett's young team. Irwin. Vale with a bit of a dodgy back pass, to say the least, that Ronald Huth managed to rectify the situation. Irwin, ball over the top. Routledge. Away by Spearing. Paulson, can he show his strength? Cho wins it back. Cho again. On his debut, Won-hee Cho created a goal with a superb bit of play towards the end of the first half. San Jose. Pacheco. Spearing. Vale. Caught in two minds, Vale, there, wasn't he, whether to take on the fullback or whip the early cross in.
Well, on that occasion, he needed to get in early. I think Liverpool had 3 bodies in there, all reasonable targets.
He scored a superb equaliser to get Liverpool back on level terms. Huth. Vale. Spearing. Paulson. Oh, Kelly just fell over, but he recovered sufficiently to get the ball back to San Jose. This wouldn't fall kindly for Pacheco. Edmund was there. Foul by San Jose.
A little late by San Jose.
On Hampson.
No complaints there.
Pearson with the free kick for the Latics. Trying to get the ball out wide towards Buxton and Mann. Of course, the Wigan reserve team assistant manager, Dave Watson, more known for his allegiances to the blue half, but he did actually start off his career as a player in Liverpool's reserve team.
Played with Dave in the reserves.
Dangerous ball in. San Jose got the header. Vale with the foul on Hampson. And the referee, Mr. Bond, wants to have a word with the Dutchman here.
First look, I thought perhaps it was a little bit sort of unfortunate, but second look, quite cynical, wasn't it?
No yellow card for Vale.
If the referee saw that second image, I think he would have given him a yellow card.
We're taking a short one. Shows in behind Liverpool here. Great recovery by Victor Paulson.
Good play by Wigan. Plenty of bodies forward. It's good defensive play in the end because there are lots of men in there trying to get on the end of that one.
A live wire one he show, isn't he?
Yeah, bright, isn't he? Tried to invent things.
Hampson with the corner. And Cho off target. I think Ryan Crowther is going to be Liverpool's first change. He's come on as a substitute very shortly indeed, because we saw him come on as a right winger for the injured Philip Deegan against Manchester United last week. San Jose just tripped up by Holt.
The referee now perhaps just gonna have to watch things a little bit. Signs that there are one or two reckless challenges going in.
Forward by San Jose. Oh, niggly fouls still occurring here. That time Martin Kelly on Joe Holt. I think he word with his captain Jay Spearing as well there.
I think he knows now that perhaps it's getting a little bit too frequent, the fouls. He was very untidy.
So 2-2 here. Twice Liverpool have come from deficits to come back. We're going to open the scoring through a Callum McManaman penalty. After great work from Jay Spearing, Christian Nemeth denied, Victor Paulsen smashed home to make it 1-1. And just before half-time, the South Korean on his debut for Wigan, Won-hee Cho, combined with McManaman to set up former Liverpool Academy player John Routledge to make it 2-1. But in the second half, Vincent Vale making it 2-2 with a superb strike. Now Kelly to Danny Pacheco. Interesting cross. Ryan Crowther is now going to come on for Liverpool. And it looks like Christian Nemeth is going to come off. Although it's changed, it's going to be Ronald Huth. Huth to come off. So Stevie Irwin will now go to right back. Kelly will go to centre back. Paulsen in midfield with Spearing, and Crowther will now go to the right wing, and Pacheco will move up front with Nemeth.
You did well to work that out, Steve, so quick.
Certainly see how them two combine up front, because they've combined well in the past, Nemeth and Pacheco.
Yeah, I think he enjoys it a lot more in that position. He'll be trying to get much more on the ball.
Gary Ablett is also having a word with his coaching staff, are having a word with Dalla Valle, who's been sent out to warm up again. Gary was saying the idea wasn't to get played Nemeth for the full 90 minutes on his first game back tonight, so Dalla Valle for Nemeth at some point could be the next Liverpool change. Now Holt trying to get on the outside of Irwin, stays on his feet, the winger. It's a let off that for Liverpool. Great run there by the young Scouser from Huyton, Joe Holt.
Well, it was a great play by McManaman to set him away. Intelligent play to hold the ball up and then just put the ball in behind Stevie Irwin. Holt needed a little bit more support.
McManaman.
He's been a handful, McManaman. I've not seen him for a few years, but I've been very impressed.
Cho, back to McManaman. Edmund. Still the Swedish international. Cho. Buxton. Oh, and it's brought an excellent save in the end out of Dean Bazanis, who was caught almost by surprise. It's a shot from distance.
Hampson, it's a good effort, and the ball sort of moving in the wind slightly, caused him problems.
Another dangerous cross into the box, away by Vale. It's a good turn by Mon. Hampson, who went so close to putting Wigan 3-2 up. Spearing.
Good save in the end by Bazanis, because what looked like perhaps a relatively comfortable ball, so the way it wavered did cause him a problem.
Here's Pacheco. He's played it behind Victor Paulsen. Nemeth making the run. Great little turn. Needs some help. He's got it back to Pacheco. Spearing coming in. Still Jay Spearing. Pacheco. Too many Wigan defenders around them. Sweet little turn that though by Nemeth. There's Pacheco. Crowther. Good running here by the right back now, Stevie Irwin. What a bad ball in, Nemeth. Well held by Mike Pollett.
Well, difficult for him really to do that much with it. The ball had no real pace coming in, and it just had to direct it more than anything else. It was comfortable height for the goalie.
Show fouled there by Spearing.
Jay speaking Korean.
Unless Cho could speak Scouse. San Jose read that well, and Kelly in there. Certainly is the position he prefers playing. Centre-back Martin Kelly will do a job for the team at right-back, but certainly made his first team debut to Eindhoven as a centre-back. Behind the goal. Danny Pacheco trying to create something for Liverpool. Certainly some activity on the Liverpool bench. And Gary Ablett's going to make another change, and we're going to see a debut for the academy striker Lowry Dallavalle. 14 goals for Hughie McCauley's team so far. A real live wire. Scored some spectacular goals. Remember, in his first season at the academy too, so about to make his debut. Richly deserved, making good progress.
Yeah, very, very much so. Scored some great goals as well. Got a real striker's eye for an opportunity.
I would guess he will come on for Nemeth here. Got a couple of opportunities to score on his return, Christian Nemeth tonight. Had a left-footed shot wide, little glanced header. And indeed, Nemeth's evening is at an end, but he will be all the more better for tonight.
Yeah, he'll certainly be pleased to get back in action and get some time in competitive style play.
Here's Sammy Hoopier's international compatriot, Lowry Dallavalle. Natural goal scorer, good left foot. Very lively and pacey too. Big boost for the academy stuff, isn't it? Hughie and the academy boys, you know, seeing Dallavalle getting his chance.
Yeah, certainly, you know, they need that little bit of encouragement to know that perhaps they're not forgotten about being down at Kirby. But he really has done well this year, so as you say, he does deserve it.
And of course, the only way you're going to see if players can step it up at higher level is to play them at reserve level.
Yeah, and, you know, I have to say, a long time ago, I think players did get their break a little bit early and just see whether they could hack it. Sometimes they're overprotected these days and they spend too much time playing academy football.
Eric Edman, the Swede, with this throw for Wigan. This game could certainly go either way. 2-2. McManaman. Skill by the number 9. Hampson.
Still playing their stuff. This time Liverpool making it very difficult for Wigan to force a way through. Lots of bodies there in behind the ball.
Spearing to Crowther. That's nice. Pacheco. Lovely footwork by the Spaniard. And Dalla Valle, straight chance. Good block. Dalla Valle again. Pacheco. His shirt pulled, Pacheco. Wins the corner.
Well, there was an opportunity. Maybe it came a little bit too early for him, having only just got on the field. But it was an intelligent ball by him, Pacheco, just to play it over the top. He just needed then lobbing over the goalkeeper.
Now Vale with the corner for Liverpool. Kelly is lurking in there. Chipped in by Vale, but too near Pollitt.
That's typical of Pacheco, working his way in towards the penalty area. They just clipped it over for Dalla Valle, and it bounced just right. And I thought the opportunity was there then just to sort of lob it over Pollitt's head. Didn't catch it well enough in the end.
There's Cho. Well, there's a player gone down with a bit of a knock. He took a knock before, did Hampson, who did come so close to a third goal for Wigan in this second half with a cracking strike from a long way out that in the end brought a decent save out of Dean Bazanis. I have high hopes for this young boy, you know, Hampson. As I say, he's been at Wigan over 11 years. And they say it would be absolutely brilliant if he could go all the way from playing at youth level to playing for Steve Bruce's first team at some point.
Means he's probably been at Wigan since he was 5 or 6, which...
He went to his first game with his dad when he was 3.
Yeah, I don't know whether I'm in agreement at starting academy footballers at 5 and 6, if I'm honest. You know, 11 years
early,
at the same club. I mean, all clubs are doing it, but I still don't agree with it.
Forward by Irwin. Paulson. Straight to Cho. Routledge. Holt. McManaman making a run to his left. Play that by Routledge. Buxton. There's Kelly for the covering. Offside. McManaman. Scored the first Wigan goal. And played a major part of the second with a superb ball down the line, but Liverpool done really well to come back. Goals from Victor Paulson. And a really good finish from Vincent Vale with his left foot. Wigan have certainly got a few players over here. Irwin got it away. Flag up. Offside again.
They do well to win the second balls, Wigan. Yeah, number of times they do that. They pick up the bits so well. A lot of energy from them tonight.
I think we're going to see a run out as well on his return to action tonight for Gary Mackay-Steven, who's getting ready to come on. You'll see putting his shirt on there behind Gary Ablett on the bench. There's Laurie Della Valle, who nearly scored with his first touch. Gonzalo Rodriguez, the Spanish coach, having a little word with Gary Mackay-Steven. Young Scot, left-sided player. Talented young player. Played in last season's FA Youth Cup victory over Arsenal at Anfield. Played very well in the left-back role. Interested in the Youth Cup draw, Dave. Semi-final. Birmingham City over 2 legs after they beat Watford last night.
Yeah, looking forward to that now that it's been decided. The other semi-final looks a cracker. Manchester City and Arsenal, so
2 good teams there as well.
Yeah, excellent sides, and you know, all to play for. Get through to the final, play a very glamorous final against either of them.
Della Valle hoping he can cap his debut for the reserves with a goal. Opportunity here for Liverpool from this set play. Pacheco to take it. Paulson was in there, Della Valle was in there too. Crowther. McManaman together with Irwin. Two young Scousers going in for a 50-50 there, McManaman and Irwin. Felt that from here, that crunch. Driven in by Hampson. Routledge. Buxton. Volleyed away by Irwin. Here comes Spearing. Brilliant run this by Kelly. Very confident and cool. Composed in possession. San Jose trying to switch it to Vale. Wants to get Dave to name his star man for Liverpool very shortly. 2-2, still everything to play for. Pacheco, still time for a winner. Still Pacheco, surrounded by blue and white striped shirts. It was Ensure in the end, on the end of that.
He was always keen to get forward. We've seen a great deal of him in the second half getting forward, but they got a clear sight of the goal.
But now the man who got Liverpool's equaliser, Vincent Vale, will go off, and marking a return to action for this fella, young Scot, Gary Mackay-Steven. Season savaged by injury, but great to see him back. And an opportunity to get involved with the reserve squad in the tail end of the campaign. Certainly was promoted to Melwood from the academy. Natural left-sided player, does prefer playing left midfield, also do a job at left back. Della Valle and Pacheco trying to conjure up something for Liverpool here. San Jose, Dalla Valle. Nice turn, Crowther. Well, he's done well, Ryan Crowther. Can he produce a decent ball in? Pacheco with a flick. Oh, decent defending by Wigan, though. Pearson did well. And then Paulson covering on Routledge at the other end. Challenged by Spearing on Marn. Dalla Valle. Crowther. Good play this by Ryan Crowther. Dalla Valle. Pacheco's in the middle. It's corner.
Just really didn't get hold of the cross, Dalla Valle. Good forceful run by Ryan Crowther.
Now Pacheco with the Liverpool corner. Just couldn't beat the man at the near post. He's got another opportunity there for number 7. Goes one way then the other. Irwin. Hampson. It's the spare man waiting there for Wigan. Good header by Mackay-Steven. Stop Mon going clear. Ensure. Dalla Valle was there, but so too was Lewis Field. Kelly. There's some danger. Cho. Edmund did well. And Holt on the outside, but well read by San Jose. McManaman. Paulson. Only as far as Routledge. He'll have a curler. Bazanis saw it all the way. Sure, trying to wrestle there, but no one's got away from him. McManaman. Holt. Good stop by Bazanis. Wigan had 2 players over there as well.
Well worked by Wigan. They really stretched Liverpool across the back. It's a great opportunity. Holt should score. You know, he puts it very close to Bazanis. Credit for the save, but really, the Wigan man should have scored.
I'll tell you what, he's had a really good game up front, though, McManaman, showing the potential he clearly had at Everton.
Yeah, very good. Very lively, aware of the things around him, looked to create things. He's been a handful, I think, for all those across the back whenever he's come in contact with them.
I think Emiliano Ensure in the spot of bother with the referee, Mr. Bond. The name's Ensure, Mr. Bond. That was terrible, I know, by the way. I think he was upset about an initial challenge when he got a kick off Morn when the ball went away, and he seeked out a little bit of retribution there. Sure again. Dave, you're man of the match for Liverpool tonight.
I don't think it's been easy tonight. I think there have been some good performances all around the field. Nobody really that outstanding, but I'm going to go for Jay Spearing. I think he's been more consistent than anybody. He's set the tone for the Liverpool lads and been very much a part of things in the centre of the field.
Of course, played a part in both the goals as well.
Yeah, very much so. And you know what you're going to get from Jay. We've said that countless times.
Positives you think Gary will take from tonight then?
Well, they've had to react, you know, to going behind. They've shown a little bit of character. They've battled because Wigan haven't made it easy for them all night. It's been fiercely competitive. You know, you could have asked maybe a little bit more going forward, but no, I don't think he'll be complaining too much. I think the effort's been very good.
Irwin. Still time for a winner. Good turn by Ensure. Look at that. Lovely skill. Now Dalla Valle makes the run. Pacheco could have a go here. Quickly charged down.
Well, for a moment there, the shot was on for Pacheco. Pearson coming out of the back line to close him down. He's got the shot away a little bit quicker.
Nice touch there by Pacheco. Here's Ryan Crowther. Well, he's won a free kick here. And certainly Pacheco has picked the ball up and wants an effort at goal here. And this is why.
There wasn't much of a pull, was it? An arm came out, but I think the referee's a little bit generous there for Ryan Crowther. Good run, though, by him.
So 2-2. Pacheco, who went so close to a winner from a free kick against Manchester United last week. Let's see what he can do from this. Spearing, as we saw, with a brilliant goal from this position against Middlesbrough at Warrington last year, is also capable. But Pacheco wants it. Can he score? Oh, he's got a one-handed save out of Pollitt. Wigan appealing that it came off the post.
Clearly saves it, and I think it's probably just about going to miss the target, but Pollitt wasn't sure and he had to go and cover it.
So Pacheco with the corner for Liverpool. Wigan have read them corners all night almost, haven't they? It's a good reverse ball by Irwin to Ensure. Now Mackay-Steven. Good run by Gary Mackay-Steven. Irwin. Dalla Valle. Brought down off his chest. Jay Spearing. There'll be 3 minutes of stoppage time, by the way, here. Paulson. And Ensure's there. Kelly. There's Irwin. Irwin just fell over. Pacheco. Good covering by Pearson. Played well, the two centre-backs for Wigan, Pearson and Field.
I think they have. I think Wigan have done well all round. You know, credit to them. I mean, they'll put it in when they're playing against a team like Liverpool. Because, as we said earlier, so many Liverpool lads in their group.
Pacheco. Is that muscled by Edmund? So it doesn't look like Liverpool will move ahead of Wigan in the table. Wigan will stay 8th. And with 4 games left after this, Liverpool will remain 9th, just above Middlesbrough and Hull City. Sunderland are actually running away with this league this season, incredibly. And even though, with all the troubles their fellow neighbours have in the northeast, Newcastle are second. Last season's Southern winners, of course, Liverpool beat in the final of the overall national section. Aston Villa are leading the Southern section again this campaign, under the former Liverpool man Kevin McDonald. Cho working it well with Holt, and Brazanis holds on well.
Good little stop in the end because he was deceived by the deflection. He has to react. The second time he's already moving over to his left-hand side. No late drama.
Ensure. Bumped forward by Dean Brazanis. Good challenge there by Dalla Valle. Ensure. Paulson. Referee's had a look at his watch. Might be the last attack here. Forward by San Jose. Crowther wants to have a go. Great effort. Good save that by Mike Pollitt. If that had gone in, that would have won the game.
It was a tremendous effort by Crowther. I don't know how much Mike Pollitt's seen of that because there are lots of bodies in the way. Caught it really well.
I think this will be the last action of the match here. Liverpool corner. Checo to take. He's got another opportunity. And the final whistle, honours even here at the Robin Sports Park Arena. Twice Liverpool came back from goals down. Vincent Vale scored a superb goal to level it up for Liverpool at 2-2 with a cracking left-footed shot, but it was a decent game in the end. Jay Spearing was Davy Fairclough's man of the match, but here's the story. McManaman, the former Everton man, brought down, then he converted the spot kick for 1-0 for Wigan, and after prompting play by Spearing and Nemeth, Victor Paulson made it 1-1 with his first goal in a red shirt. But then good play by the South Korean Cho, setting up the former Liverpool Academy man John Routledge. That was 2-1 just before half-time, but then in the second half, Pacheco's cross came out to Vale, and how about that for a finish?
It was a good game in the end, 2-2. You know, Liverpool will be disappointed that they're not picking up wins, but at least they're competing well, and that was a tough game for them tonight.
At least we saw the return of Nemeth, a debut at second string level for Dalla Valle, but it finished here, Wigan Athletic 2, Liverpool 2.